Okay, if you run a business, you know this feeling. You pour money into advertising, you see the leads roll in, but your bottom line just doesn't move. It is one of the most frustrating leaks in any company's budget. So let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a surprisingly simple but really powerful strategy to plug that leak. And here's the best part. It uses a tool you probably have open on your computer right now. So let me just ask you straight up. Do you know for sure where your ad money is really going? I don't just mean which platforms you're paying. I mean, which of those dollars are actually turning into profit? This isn't just a marketing question. This is a fundamental cash flow issue that can honestly make or break a business. All right, so here's the absolute core of the problem. When leads come in, from Google, Facebook, an email campaign, wherever, the default tendency is to treat them all the same. Your team gets to work trying to convert every single one. But the hidden truth is, not all leads are created equal. In fact, some are worth 100 times more than others. No joke. And what's the result of treating them all the same? Well, it's just wasted money. You end up spending a fortune bringing in leads that were never, ever going to become profitable customers. It's kind of like paying for 1,000 lottery tickets when only 10 of them even have a chance of winning. But here is the good news. You do not need some complex, expensive AI platform to fix this. The answer is already sitting on your computer. Yep, we're talking about your spreadsheet. It can act like a crystal ball, seriously, helping you find hidden profit that you didn't even know was there. Let's give this a name. We'll call it augmented intuition. See, you've already got a gut feeling for your business, right? This strategy is all about using your own simple data to supercharge those instincts. It's not about replacing your judgment. It's about making it sharper, more accurate, and, well, a whole lot more profitable. And just look at how simple the data is that you need. All you need to track are 3 things: where the lead came from, how much it cost, and did they convert? Yes or no? That's it. Just those 3 columns hold the key to unlocking all of your ad spend efficiency. So this is the crucial shift in mindset we're talking about. You move from just guessing that all leads have some potential to knowing, based on your own data, that some of your lead sources are pure gold, while others, well, they're just fool's gold. Now, this is where it gets really fun. When you visualize this data, the story just becomes crystal clear. Take a look at this chart. See how lead source A is converting like crazy, while lead source B is, well, it's barely doing anything. Without the simple chart, you could be pouring money into both of them equally. You'd literally be paying for failure. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at a case study, a composite example based on a typical education company, to see how they put this exact idea into practice. So this company, they were tracking all their student enrollment leads using simple Excel and CSV files. Nothing fancy at all. And it's important to say, while this is a simulated data set, it's based on the exact patterns we see in small and medium-sized businesses every single day. So this is a very real-world scenario. And that's a really key point. The results we're about to show you, they aren't some magical 1 in a million outcome. They are intentionally conservative. They are absolutely achievable for pretty much any business that takes this simple approach. Okay, let's get to the part everyone really cares about. Turning this data into actual dollars. What was the real financial impact for this company? So before they did this, the company was all about volume. They were generating about 1,000 leads in a given period from a whole mix of different advertising channels. After they did the analysis, they made a really bold move. They just cut their ad spend on all those underperforming channels and focused only on the winners. So yeah, their lead volume dropped to 500, but these were 500 times better leads, the ones that actually had a super high probability of converting. And the result? Bam! By cutting out all that waste and focusing on what actually worked, they saved $25,000 a year in advertising costs. And get this, because they were focusing on higher quality leads, their revenue actually stayed stable. This was pure profit, added directly back to their bottom line. So, you're probably thinking, okay, how can I do this myself? Let's walk through a super simple profit-first playbook that you could literally start implementing this week. It really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, gather your data. Second, use that data to find your winning lead sources. And third, adjust your ad spend to double down on those winners and completely cut the losers. It is that straightforward. And remember, the data you need to gather is so simple. You just need to know the source of the lead, roughly what it costs to get it, and a simple yes or no for whether they became a customer. That's your entire data set. And you know what the best part is? You can start with the tools you already have. Excel, Google Sheets. Do the analysis there, prove the return on investment, and save the money first. Then, and only then, should you even think about upgrading to fancier BI tools or automation. Start simple, prove the value, and then you can scale. At the end of the day, with all the buzz around AI and big data, it's so easy to get lost. But it really just comes down to this one simple idea, which I think is perfectly captured in this quote. The smartest AI is the one that increases profit.